Let's consider this problem on finding the domain. So we want to find the domain of this function. In short, the domain is the x values that we could use in this problem. So there are certain things that if we put them in here for x, we wouldn't be able to calculate this. For example, what if x were -5? -5 plus 4 is -1, and you can't take the square root of a negative number. So -5 is not in the domain. So when we say find the domain of a function, what we mean is find the set of x values that would be permissible to put into the equation and still calculate. That's one way of thinking about it. So we know that you can't take the square root of a negative number, so I'm going to take what's under the radical, x plus 4, I'm going to say that has to be greater than or equal to 0. So it could be 0, you can take the square root of 0, but it has to be greater than or equal to 0. It can't be less than 0. If you solve that, you see that x has to be greater than or equal to -4. So as long as x is -4 or bigger, you'll be able to do that calculation. So in college algebra, one of the ways they write that is like this. So this is the answer. X is greater than or equal to -4. But this is a way many of the books write it. This is saying it goes from -4, and this bracket means that it could be -4. And then it goes to the right all the way to positive infinity. And positive infinity gets a parenthesis because infinity is not a specific number. It just goes on forever, ever, ever. It's not a specific number like -4. So if the number is included, like -4 is included, it's greater than or equal to -4, you use a bracket. But if it's not included, you would use a parenthesis. And since this is going to infinity, infinity is always going to have a parenthesis on it. So that's two different ways to write the domain. So this is a little heads up on college algebra, finding the domain, and even some of the notation that they use.